watching East Tennessee's first and only year-round sports talk show on television. This is The Sports Source with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into The Sports Source. We appreciate you joining us as always. We've got football, basketball, recruiting, Lady Vols, baseball, all covered today with 3 VFLs, 2 former coaches, and a partridge in a pear tree. It's a packed house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this thing. Segment 1 brought to you as always by our good friends at Phil Cobble, Fine Homes and Land. And in case you needed more reasons to list your home with the Cobble team, other than the fact that they've moved $350 million in properties since 1980, well, Phil and his crew will handle minor repairs of your house for free. That's part of the getting your home ready to sell stage. They will handle the small repairs for free. They provide an evaluation of the property, and get this, they have Julie Beeler on staff. She's an interior designer who helps to stage your home for an open house, moves your furniture around. This is done in California, and it makes you about 20% extra out in California. Here in East Tennessee, it's shown to make about 10% extra. You can make 10% extra on your house sale just by having someone, an interior decorator, come in, an interior designer, come in and set up the staging for your open house. With Phil Cobble's team, that's a free part of the service. Folks, if you're looking to move your home, if you're looking to buy a house, the folks to call, Phil Cobble, Fine Homes and Land. All right, I mentioned all the things that are coming up on today's show. Let's go ahead and show you what they're around. First, spring practice is just around the corner, which has created an incredible amount of anticipation. Then we got hoops recruiting we're going to talk about a little bit. Spring previews continue. We wrap them up with receivers and linebackers today. SEC hoops, is Tennessee losing ground because they're kind of stuck in neutral right now? Cartwheels, for those of you who haven't heard about Steve Spurrier and Jim Rome this week, we'll discuss those 2 fine fellas. And then Lady Vols and baseball, get a little toss in here at the end of the show. So, packed house. Let's go ahead and introduce the starting lineup here. We've got another wing just waiting to get in. Right here, Jimmy Himes, who's with Sports Radio WNML. We have David Ligon, former Vol football player right there. We have Chuck Cavaleris from Southern Golf News Central.
Yes.
Southern Golf Central Magazine. Southern Golf Central Magazine. There we go. And right there we have Sterling Hinton, a former Vol quarterback. All right. Gentlemen, this week kicks off spring practice for Team 119. Are we ever going to stop with that, by the way? You know, the Team 117 started it. First time that the Vols enter the season off a bowl win. We got these stats here. It's about time. First time Tennessee enters the season off a bowl win since 2007. And the anticipation is high. I mean, expectations are going higher and higher. You've seen writers around the country say good things about the Volunteers. You look at a lot of bad years there, a lot of lean years. Jimmy, I'll start with you. You do sports talk Monday through Friday on the Sports Animal or Sports Radio WNML. What has been the interest level among Vol fans? Have you noticed an upswing this year?
No doubt. There has been an upswing. It comes on the basis of winning the bowl game. It comes on the basis of Josh Tiles performing very well late in the year and ending the bowl game. It is buoyed by recruiting classes that rank among the top 5 the last couple of years. And so I think fans are excited about what is going to happen and the expectations. Right now we're getting 8-9 wins is a prediction. As we get into August, it'll be 10, 11, or 12.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
Because it continues to climb.
Absolutely. All right. Let me ask the former Vols here, Sterling and David. I'll start with David because I got a feeling I know where Sterling's going to go with this one. But as former Vols, you get the feeling now that the worst is behind you? It's now in the rear view. Do you feel comfortable in saying that, or do you still, let's give it one more year?
I feel comfortable saying the worst is behind us. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be bumps in the road. It'd be great if you go out next year and you have a 12-win undefeated season and you play for a national championship. Is that likely? No, it's not. But, expectations and getting too high, you mentioned, 8 wins. Is that really too high of an expectation? I mean, it's an improvement upon last year. It's 1 win. So I think if people are coming out saying, I think, 8-win regular season, I think that's definitely doable.
Agreed. Sterling.
I absolutely agree the worst is behind us. I mean, I'm be consistent. I've been the same Sterling since forever ago, and now we're here. This is what's going on right now. Our football team is preparing as champions. I had the blessing of going over and seeing some of the workout, trying to participate in some of the workouts they're doing winter workouts. These guys are preparing as champions. So I'm asking our Vol fans, don't give us losses we don't have yet. Be excited about what's about to happen with our football team. That's how I see it.
All right, Chuck. And going into spring practice, the excitement building. There's a reason Sterling's on the show today. We have right here Chuck Cavaleris. I want to ask you a question. As a fan you're a fan, but you've covered the team for years and years and years in many different areas. Your thoughts on the expectation level? I think 8 wins, fair. But when I read people saying that they're projecting Tennessee to play Baylor in the Sugar Bowl, that may be a little over the top. Josh Dobbs was listed on one writer's list as one of the next big things in college football at quarterback. Do you think there's any danger of the expectations getting a little too high in terms of this building?
Yeah, because, speaking on behalf of the voice of reason, I would say, hey, tap the brakes just a little bit. Expectations, that's like preseason all SEC teams to me sometimes. Not that you're going to forget about it, but you still have to go out there and play.
True.
To me, you still have a lot of things that have to fall into place. To me, you're still a year away. So I think it's really good to keep a lot of that in perspective. That means that doesn't mean great things can't happen.
Right.
It just means, hey, I think, and you're also, look at it, guys, one injury away here or there. You're also going to have to get this offensive line going. There's several things that need to fall into place. Yeah. But, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather have high expectations than low ones.
Yeah, I don't think Baylor's going to be that good.
But, you look at it, and I think that you nailed it. 8 wins next year is doable. At the same time, if Josh Dobbs sprains an ankle and misses, high ankle sprain, misses 6 games, who's your backup? We don't know. We don't know how they're going to play, any of that kind of stuff. So there is that wiggle room. I think that you're right that the next year, and I think it's important to be excited for this spring. I think that's fun for Vol fans. We'll talk about it later. Steve Spurrier kind of took a shot at Vol fans for celebrating a bowl win. There's nothing wrong with being excited after 6 or 7 years of being glum. So I think that's all positive. Yeah.
An 8 or 9 win season would be one of the best seasons we've had around here in a really long time. So for all means, get excited about it.
I think South Carolina was doing cartweils when they won 8 or 9. That's where you got there because they hadn't had much success.
I think this segment clearly puts a seal on how good of a media guy I will ever be. I will always be a player. I was a part of that 88 team that was 5 and 6, and we came back in 89, and what we did. So all I'm saying is Auburn did it a couple years ago. Do not put that seal on our Tennessee football team.
Yeah, bro, that's back in the 1900s.
That's all right, though, before Twitter, but we hit,
baby. Sterling raises the expectations and puts the heat on Butch Jones.
Hey, it's not heat, it's what he welcomes.
It'll be heat when it'll be heat if it doesn't come through.
Solve everything, John P. I tell you, big
Tell me something. They got there's already a social media push to fill Neyland Stadium. Now, years ago,
for the spring
game in '86 after the Sugar Bowl, I think they got 70,000. That was the record for a long time. I think Alabama broke it with 90 something. How many fans wind up? It's an orange and white game scrimmage, but do you think they get 50, 60, 70,
100,000?
All right, everybody but Sterling.
I tell you what, to me, if it's a pretty day, if it's nice weather, I think you could have a great crowd there. I don't see anywhere. Can you feel it? I don't think so. I would be shocked if you did, but you can still have a great crowd.
Shocked the world.
Be a heck of a recruiting message.
It would be. You get a lot of recruits in during the spring game.
Vols fans, Alabama did it, so it can be done.
So we don't like them.
What do you think, Jimmy?
I think you get 75 to 80. I think 100 would be tough to do, but if they get 100, I know a coach will be doing cartwheel over there.
Yeah. There's been times in the season we didn't have that.
Yeah, not too long ago you were wanting 70 or 80 for a regular season SEC game. All right. When we come back, we got a lot of football to come, but next, Tennessee basketball is kind of in a holding mode. How is that impacting recruiting? We got a VFL with us. We got 2 former UT aides over there, former head coach. We're going to discuss how Tennessee can recruit around the NCAA investigation that's kind of dragging around Donnie Tyndall's foot like a ball and chain. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Want your own man cave? Turn to Benedict Construction.